Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, this is Pallab Datto. I used to work Bill Fusion Incorporation, and first of all, I would say thanks to all of you for being here, and I would also like to thanks to Kolkata Geeks. It's a very good community for providing this kind of platform for us. So today my session is how to increase performance of web application using JQuery. So today's agenda is discussion on problems of web development, traditional ways of solving, jQuery advantage over JavaScript, introduction to jQuery basic syntax, use of jQuery to eradicate web development problems, and features and beyonds. So, as we know, web is stateless. So, whenever we develop web application, we face a lot of problems. What it exactly does, since it is stateless, so server and communication, server and client doesn't communicate directly. Whenever we send request to the server, at that only moment, server gets information from the client, and that time only communication happened. After sending back request to client, it it again gets stateless. So communication is usually break that time. So to solve this kind of problem, web application maintains some kind of thing like view states, session, and cookies. What exactly view state? View state hold client information. So whenever client send information back to the server, view state sends information to the server. And session, what is exactly? The session usually keep holding client information back to the server. So like user login information and all that. Cookies usually uh, used to keep at the client machine. It also keep information at the client machine. So in web development, the basic problem is postback. So what it exactly does, uh, each and individual, whenever we send each and individual request, it gets postback. So to solve this kind of situation, we introduce Ajax technology. So Ajax technology, what it does, it exactly sends request without using postback and gets also response from the server. So user doesn't realize postback. So it really increase user experience. Another basic problem of web development is lots of JavaScripts. So before introducing jQuery, we need to write a lot of JavaScript code during web development. So it's kind of very much stupid thing. So sometimes we need to write same code again and again. So there is another good thing, jQuery introduction. jQuery usually what it does, jQuery is a basically a framework based on JavaScript. It contains a lot of methods in it, so that we can use these methods in our application. We'll show you later on.
Sir, Mr. Pallab,
Yeah,
can I ask you just one question?
yeah, tell me.
Actually, I want to know that whether this jQuery can be. Actually, I have heard that people are using jQuery for animations and all. Is it
Yeah,
really so that jQuery can be used for animation? And
yeah,
is that really
jQuery.
and is it platform independent? That is, can I use jQuery for all sort of browsers, or it will be working on all sort of browsers?
Yeah, you're
So
absolutely right.
these are my questions.
We can create animation through use of jQuery. I'll show you later. Uh, and
Thank you, sir.
also one of the advantage in jQuery, it is platform independent. Rather, not platform. It's a browser independent. So we don't need to worry for different kind of browser. And as you know that jQuery also works on mobile browser too. Another problem of ASP.NET web development that sometimes we need to use lot of third-party controls. So it is really painful because there might be possibilities that user or developer might not have much idea about third-party controls, and sometimes we need to purchase third-party controls. So it is quite expensive for the developers. Advantage of jQuery over normal JavaScript. As we know, jQuery is basically a framework, so all code is predefined. So we can use these methods, jQuery methods, in our application. So we don't need to test it in our application. It has very good feature, that is easy DOM manipulation. So we can use DOM object in our jQuery and perform various operations on that DOM object. And basically, as we know, jQuery provides and as we know, jQuery has advantage. It is very small, and so that whenever we use jQuery in our application, it really takes very much little time to download this JS file to our client side. So it really increase user experience also. jQuery has another advantage, that is large number of plugins it supports. So beside of this, you can also create your own plugins and release it, and developer can use this kind of plugins in their application. jQuery has basically two kind of version. One is manifest version and another is developer version. So basically developer version is for debugging purpose. We shouldn't use developer version in our production. Basically it takes little more size than minifized version. Whenever we go to uh, uh, production side, we should use minifized version so that it really takes very less time to download this JS file. And test, one of the most important thing, testing for development. It really takes a lot of time for development. Uh, Java, if we write JavaScript code, we need to test this JavaScript code in our application. So it really takes little more time to release our code. But if we use jQuery, it doesn't have to test in our application. It already been tested. So it really decrease much more efforts. One guy just before told me that does support browser compatibility jQuery. I have said that yeah, jQuery also support browser compatibility. And in my last topic, you can see cross browser support. One of the most advantage of jQuery is that jQuery library is completely open source. So anyone can use this jQuery and to their application and release it. So we don't need to pay anything for that. And another trusted thing is that Microsoft also introduced jQuery in their application. So we can rely jQuery in our application. I have told you earlier what exactly is jQuery. jQuery is basically a JavaScript framework. It contains a lot of methods in it so that we can use these methods in our application. We don't need to write this method again and again in our application. So it really decrease efforts for the developers. And it is multiple browser supports. So we don't need to worry whether the jQuery has browser compatibility or not. I'm going to show you some basic syntax of jQuery. Uh, Actually, I have classified jQuery methods in different in various categories. One is selector. Selector is basically what it does. It usually need to select various controls or find various control objects from our HTML elements. Event function. Event function is basically it it usually uh, used to attach various events at runtime. jQuery also has some functions like for animation purpose. Uh, so we can use these functions for animation. jQuery has a very good feature, that is callback functionality. Like we can attach any event delegate at runtime. We can change HTML content through use of jQuery. jQuery also used for manipulating CSS in our web application. There are a lot of methods available through which we can manipulate CSS in our application. jQuery has another advantage. We can use Ajax in our jQuery. Now I'm going to show you some syntax example. Uh, dollar method, dollar signature basically shows that the method which we are using, it's a jQuery method. And if we pass asterisk signature in this method, it usually find all elements in it and keep in a array structure. This keyword refer to the current element or current HTML element. If we need another is p tag, which I have passed in this method. So what it exactly does, it usually find all paragraph elements and keep in an array structure so that we can use this object in our application. Uh, Another important, that is sometimes we need to find some elements based on some class. You can show this example exactly does same thing. I am finding only those paragraphs who has intro CSS. We can also find element through use of ID. Here I am finding uh, only those paragraphs, only that paragraphs which has intro ID. Next one is sometime we used to find elements, and here here we can get that suppose there are 3 or 4 paragraphs, and those paragraphs also contain intro CSS. So sometimes we need to find out first one. So through use of colon first, we can find first element of that array. Next one is for finding elements through use of CSS. Another next one is for finding element through use of ID. Next one is also same. Sometimes we need to query on HTML. Here I have written a query where I have told that uh, I have to find out of first one element of li which contains under UI tag, UL tag. Sorry. Another one is for like sometimes we need to find out a link which has connected with a .js extension file. So through use of this one, we can do this kind of operation. So last one is for if I want to find out those element which has class header, we can do through use of this. Now I'm gonna show you some demo of it. Oh, I don't know why it is taking a little bit of time. Now, before using jQuery, we have to first download jQuery library file. So you can see there are two different versions. One is production and another is for development purpose. I'm gonna take production version. So it is completely obfuscated. You won't be able to understand. So I'm gonna download this. Now it has been downloaded. Now I can use this JS file. Now I'm gonna opening a new project and choosing a web development template. Kolkata Git sample application. In 2010, it is automatically uh, incorporated with this solution, so we don't need to download jQuery in our application if you are using uh, Visual Studio 2010. Uh, you can see there are two type of versions. One is minifest version. This one is the minifest version. You won't be able to understand this code. And this is the original of developer version. You can, if you want, you can debug this code. So it is only for debugging purpose, nothing more than that. So I'm going to show you an example of using jQuery in our application. I'm going to take an HTML page. Now first thing we have to take reference of that jQuery JS file. I'm gonna take reference of the JS file. I'm just dragging this file over my HTML page. Now I can access this jQuery file in this page. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you an animation. I'm going to declare a CSS in this page. Oops, I've just missed that PX. Now I have to declare a script block where I would write all JavaScript code. As I've told you earlier, $set does mean I'm using jQuery method. Document keyword referred to the current document which I'm using here, or current page elements. So what exactly this method will do? We need to call JavaScript code or JS code after completing page load. So this method is responsible for this operation. After page loading, this method will call. So what I have done here, I have bind a function with all anchor tag. So whenever user click on anchor tag, this method will call. Oops, I have to set startup page. Now you can see the method already been bind with this anchor tag. Whenever we click, it shows alert message. Now I'm going to extend this method to some another operation. So what I am doing, I am creating an animation which will fade out that red color block um, with 0.5 second interval. Sorry, 5 second interval. As you can see, it is fading out with 5 second interval. Now I'm going to use another method, slide up, which will use to slide up of our red color block. You can see this effect. It is sliding up and getting height 0. Now what I am doing, I am hiding this red color block through use of hide method of JQuery. It will hide after 5 seconds. Now what I am going to do, I am going to change some CSS through use of JQuery. Now I'm going to declare a paragraph block in my application. It has contained some also anchor tag in it. So what I would do, I would change all anchor tag color by clicking on click me button. So let's see what's going to happen. As you can see, after clicking click me button, all anchor tag color has been changed and it gets blue color by pushing CSS through use of JQuery with all anchor tag. And again I have done opposite one. I have changed the CSS and it gets red color. Let's move on. I'm going to show you another some example. I'm going to take another HTML page, effect 1. Now I'm going to take a list in it. Guys, am I audible? Are you getting my voice? Hello? Are you getting my voice, guys?
Yeah, Pallav, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay. Just hold on. I'm having some difficulties in my application. I have to keep that page again effect 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm creating a list in it. By giving a name list 1, list 2 and list 3. Here I have to take reference of the JS file, and now I have to declare a CSS block in it. I'm declaring a CSS block with the class name alert. It has some basic feature. When we attach this alert CSS into the element, it changes color with red. Now I have to declare a JavaScript block to write down some code in it. Here what I'm going to do, I'm finding here I'm finding first element from the list tag and pushing the first element with alert CSS. So what it would do, it would change color red with the first list element. Here you can see that example. First element is getting changed color with red. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change color with alternate effect. Here you can see that example. Now I'm moving back to my presentation. So here we can see a couple of events. So we can bind click event through use of click. Uh, Another is double click, focus, and mouse over. There are some another also events. So we can use these events in our application when we require. Here you can see some list of uh, jQuery animation methods. So we can use this. We can use this for providing some kind of animation or effect in our application. Here you can see callback method. So callback method, what it exactly does, in this example, you can see after 1 second interval when paragraph tag will be hidden, a, this function will call. Actually, this is called callback method. After hidden operation, the callback operation will call this function. You can see here here available some selector HTML content. To use up these methods, we can manipulate HTMLs in our application. I'm going to show you a little demo of it. What I'm going to do, uh, I'm creating a button. Whenever user click on that button, div div will populate with a message. I'm giving a name, sorry, giving a value, click me of that button. Now I have to declare a method so that we can call this method through use of clicking on this button. Um, I'm going to give a name, populate div. So what I'm going to do, I'm creating a method and I'll call this method when it required to populate data into the div. Hash sign denote that I am using ID. As you can see, the HTML method contains parameter string. Actually, this string will be populated in the div. So I'm going to take a text box. Declaring a variable. Now I'm going to declare another JQuery method for taking value from the text box. Val function is responsible for setting and getting value from any element. Oops, very common mistake. I haven't called this method. Clicking on this button, I have to bind this method. Now this will work. As you can see, I'm sending value from the text box to that div. Now I'm going back to my presentation. Here you can see uh, some methods for manipulating CSS in our application. So first one is CSS. CSS is for attaching any style to any HTML control. Height is for setting or getting height of any HTML control. Width is for same purpose, setting or getting width from any HTML control. Add CSS is for attaching any CSS class to any HTML control. Has CSS. Sometimes we need to find out whether that CSS is available in that HTML control or not. So has CSS is used for finding out whether that CSS is available or not. Remove CSS. Sometimes we need to remove CSS class from any HTML control. So remove CSS is used for removing CSS from any HTML control. Toggle CSS. Sometimes we need to toggle up with two different CSS. So to toggle up with two different CSS, we can use toggle CSS. As I told you earlier, JQuery also has Ajax, so it's really helpful for sending and getting requests without using postbug to the server. So we can use this Ajax method in our application. So load method has three parameters: URL, data, and callback. So what it exactly does, URL is the link where we are sending request. The data is for what data we are having from the server after sending that request, and callback operation is done after having request to the server. Callback method usually call. So in that code example, you can see I have declared a first example. Whenever user click a button, the Ajax load method call, it usually send request to Google and take HTML content from the Google and put it into the div. Another example is it is doing same kind of operation with callback method. Like here I am also sending request to the server. After getting response from the server, success callback method you will call, and then only div will be populated with the data which is having from Google server. So you can, I think you can understand now what are the problems we are having through use of web application, and how could we solve this problem through use of Ajax, or sorry, through use of JQuery. So now you can use JQuery and you can solve some sort of problem. So advantages of jQuery we can see here. Web development is easy now through use of jQuery, and one of the most advantage is jQuery is completely documented, so we can learn anything from that document and we can use this jQuery in our application. Since jQuery is written much more earlier and it has been tested, so we don't need to test this jQuery, and it really makes much more comfortable for the developer. We don't need to worry about the syntax, and jQuery is plugin based, so we don't need to, so we can use these plugins in our application. Also we can create our own plugin in our application. And web technology is moving towards HTML5 and HTML5, and we can use HTML5 syntax through our jQuery too. Rapid technology update with rich UI. So we can create rich UI through use of jQuery, and we also know that jQuery has also another framework, jQuery UI class. So we can use a jQuery UI library to create rich UI application. HTML5 will be standardized in 2014. So after 2014, most of browser will support HTML5, and this would really helpful for the user. And jQuery also introduced HTML5 methods. jQuery has large number of supports, so we don't need to really worry about browser compatibility. jQuery is moving towards this. jQuery is getting day by day much more popular, and new methods is incorporating with this jQuery file. So we can, day by day we are having much more methods and flexibilities of jQuery. If you have any question, you can tell me now.
Hello, this is Abhishek. I really like to thank Pallab Doctor for taking this session for us. It was a nice session for him, and I really appreciate for having him with us. And so how do you like this session? So anybody like to speak? Yes. Okay, so we have a question answer here panel. So if you want to give a question, you can write me directly here. So Tonio has written me something. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Sudipto,
Okay.
and it was really a nice session. But I would like to know one thing,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that where from we can get more information about jQuery. Like, is there any such site from where we can get the
Yes.
tutorials and more, and better if you can download any such video tutorial of which I am greatly fond of.
Yes, yes, definitely. There are lots of sites. Actually, you can see the current web trend is moving towards HTML5. So HTML5 is one thing that will be coming very recently. And the best thing is jQuery supports that. And here we have few links right now. Let me show you few links. Just wait for a second. So let me show you some links. So if you go to Google and search for jQuery, so this is the first link that you see is the official jQuery site, where you will find lots of information about jQuery, and you can find the documentation, the tutorial, etc. There are lots of
Can I
resources
get the
here.
video tutorial too?
Yes, I think there is no video tutorial right here, but you can search in Google actually.
Okay.
Google is
Best.
so if you write Google, this one is for absolute beginners video series. You will find lots of resources about jQuery. It is very popular framework, and also as you have seen from Paulov's demonstration, that Visual Studio actually incorporates jQuery within it. So you don't have to download a jQuery library to use it. Okay.
Thank you
So
so
you will
much.
find lots of resources, and we will also put up a blog for where you can find these resources. You can follow our website kolkatagigs.com, and you will find lots of blogs there. So, any more questions? Okay. So if you have any more questions, you can ask me. Yes. Anybody? Okay, so we are in final note of this presentation. So we are very happy to have Pallav with us. Pallav is present. Pallav has presented a nice session, and it was his first time. And we are very happy that our community has a guy who has presented here for the first time. I know he has faced a little bit of difficulties while presenting, but as you know, for a first timer, it is a very good session according to me. So so we are also asking you people to participate in these sessions, and also if you want, you can drop us a mail at contact@kolkatagigs.com, so that we can allow you to present here a nice session like this. So we have put up a poll for you, so you can submit your responses here. Okay, so this is what today's session is, and we will have a new session next week, I think. So I would request all of you to register for kolkatagigs.com, and to get all the updates. And we have also opened a new SMS channel. We will shortly publish that in our website. So follow us and have a great technology day. Thanks.
Thank you very much too.
Thank you, Sudeep.